Well, good day and welcome back to the Flying Doctor channel. Today we're back at Delta's home in Atlanta, but I'm not flying with Delta today. No, we're going to be trying out a new airline for the channel and myself at least, and that's JetBlue. One of the things I like about JetBlue is that they actually name all their aircraft a unique, punny name. So let's get inside the airport, let's check in, and find out what the name of our plane is today. Sit back, relax, get ready for another flight review. Clearly, I've never flown, or very rarely flown out of the North Terminal. Walked straight past JetBlue. I guess I was looking for Delta, but let's see what this is like. Okay, that was it. So here's the check-in area. It's quite small. JetBlue doesn't have the biggest operations at Atlanta. Let's go ahead and utilize pre-check. And if it's too long, let's test out the clear lane and see if it's actually faster. All right, well, that took longer than expected. I think there's only been one time where I've used clear and it's gotten me through security before TSA pre-check. You really gotta pencil out, based off the size of the line, whether or not it's actually gonna be worth it. And then the fact that now some of the airports are using the biometric ID checks really defeats the purpose of actually using clear or paying for that membership. So some information to be aware of if you're considering. But let's find a lounge. I've gotten several notifications that my flight is delayed. So check out the Centurion Lounge again. Okay, well, we made it to the Centurion Lounge, and it's not busy. It's actually really quiet for, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's a Saturday, but let's take a look at the buffet. It looks a lot better than the last time I was here. And then we'll head over to the gate and check out the aircraft. We're flying up to LaGuardia in New York today. Exiting the Centurion Lounge because I just got somewhat of a concerning text message from JetBlue saying that my flight is departing in 12:39 today. Should be departing today, but I've gotten, I think, 5 text messages where they keep changing the date or the time, and this is the earliest time. So I'm going to try and rush over to the gate. Hopefully the boarding doors are still open. Clearly there's some miscommunication somewhere in the chain of command at JetBlue because there's no aircraft at the gate. So I've never been down at this end of Terminal T. Looks like I'm already at the end. I think they're in the middle of construction, which actually is a good segue into something I wanted to talk about because right now Atlanta is in the middle of expanding one of their terminals, and rather than shut down the airport, they really can't do that. So you need to kind of maintain some sort of operational status whilst performing construction and expansion. So let's look a little into how they actually go about expanding an airport without closing it.
Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport frequently tops the list as world's busiest airport, and to accommodate growing demand for air travel, is currently expanding. A key part of this expansion is to update the 44-year-old Concourse D by adding 30 feet to the currently 60-foot wide concourse and extend its length by nearly 300 feet. The $1.4 billion project is one part of ATL's next improvement project. Adding room for more passengers isn't the only design aspect at play here. This modernization project enables Concourse D the ability to accommodate newer aircraft like the 737 MAX and A321neo. The engineering and design team settled on a modular off-site assembly. Construction of the modules takes place 1 mile away from their final resting place. When ready, the airport authority will temporarily suspend flight operations in order for the structure to be moved into place. Each of the 19 sections will travel at 1 miles per hour from their build site to Concourse D. It's quite a marvel watching that massive building block moving into place. Looks like my chariot has arrived. Party in the BLU.S.A, also known as November 3139 Juliet, is a 1-year-old A220-300 that will be taking us up to New York. In addition to unique aircraft names, which they have a lot of, JetBlue have a handful of unique designs for the tail of the aircraft.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard JetBlue Flight 2813 with service to New York's LaGuardia Airport. Once you've found your seat, please place only the larger items.
Alright, so we are on board, and I really like the cabin. The seats are actually pretty nice, and I like the layout. Obviously, 3-2 layout is much more appreciated than your standard 3-3 layout, but once we get airborne, we'll take a look at the IFE and see what they have to offer. There is a bit of a menu available inside the seat pocket, so we might take a look and see if there's anything interesting to order. And definitely.
Good afternoon and welcome aboard JetBlue Flight 2718 to New York City's LaGuardia. We want to get all of you to LaGuardia as quickly as...
I'm not sure, but she might have said the wrong flight number. Either way, we're going to LaGuardia. She got that right. So, never flown into LaGuardia, at least not in my conscious memory, maybe sometime in the past, but I'm sure it'll be a unique flight and definitely some good sights to see out the window, which on the A220s, they're actually quite large.
So please give us your attention while we walk you through this plane's safety features. Please follow along with the safety information card in your seat back pocket. Federal law requires you to follow all light information signs posted to blackberries and especially crew member instructions. Customers are encouraged to remove
JetBlue 2813, Sherlock heading 250, runway 27 right, clear for takeoff.
So, the seats themselves have pretty decent legroom. At 193 centimeters, there's more than enough legroom for a quick flight up to New York. The tray table was clean, sturdy, and extends once released from the seatback. There's also a menu inside of the seatback pocket. Let's have a look. Did you hear that? Probably just dried soda, but still. Once unfolded, inside pages reveal snacks for purchase. Many of the items on this menu are only sold on flights exceeding a certain time limit. So, if you are on a flight less than 2 hours, don't expect an opportunity to purchase any of the food items on the inside of this menu. Also in the seatback pocket was the obligatory safety card and vomit collection bag, aka air sickness bag or sanitary bag. The IFE system has built-in near-field communication capability. Under the IFE screen are a headphone jack and a USB plug. A universal power socket and USB-C outlet are situated on the seat frame at your feet. I almost forgot. The back of the in-flight menu includes snacks and drinks that will be served on today's flight, at no cost.
There's no Coke. Not used to that. I'm not sure I'm gonna go for the Pepsi. Might actually just go for water. Wasn't expecting that.
What do you need to drink, sir?
I have the bubbly, the lime
Bubbly? Do you want ice?
Is it cold there? Coldish?
Kinda coldish.
That's fine.
Let's see.
That works for me.
Good?
Yeah. Thank you.
Need to drink? Anything to drink?
Okie dokie, snacks arrived. I think we went through what was available before, but just as a reminder, let's crack this bag of plantain chips open and see how they taste. So they're on the flavorless, bitter, slightly salty side, not sweet. They're decent. I'll definitely finish them. I am a bit hungry. Very nice day for spotting out the window. Very clear outside. Got some broken clouds, but overall, flight's been pretty good so far. Besides the miscommunication related to boarding times and the somewhat chaotic boarding process, JetBlue is doing pretty well. They got free Wi-Fi, which we'll take a look at, check out the speeds. Flight attendants are helpful and attentive, so pretty decent for JetBlue.
Let's take a look at that free Wi-Fi. After connecting to JetBlue's flyfly.com network, you'll be asked to watch an ad, which in my case was for one of JetBlue's other products. The speed is quite impressive. While the ping had me worried, the download speeds were surprisingly well.
Let's go ahead and check out the IFE here. So, hey, what's up? Hey, no thanks. Hey, that's me. No thanks. No thanks. Okay, pretty responsive touchscreen. It's kind of like an Android style layout where you have these different tiles. At least that's what it reminds me of. I guess that's the films, movies. Let's check it out. They're all organized by categories, it looks like here. TV, maybe? Is that what that is? Oh, look at that. Direct TV. They have live TV available. What is that? Kids things? Oh, well, there's one game for children. There are, games for adults. Now, what classifies Solitaire, Sudoku, or Trivia as adult games? Who knows? Headphones, as it states here, Audio. I don't know, maybe these are what these destinations are like. But of course, let's check out the map, because that's what we're all really interested in. 3D maps by GeoFusion. There we go, it's a 3D look of our aircraft. Let's see, what is the eyeball? Okay, switch views. Tab again for next view. Rotate. Okay, windows. Cockpit's where it's at. Now where's my altitude and speed indicator? I don't see it. Pretty decent looking in-flight entertainment system. It's a modern screen. It's not one of those resistive touchscreens. It's capacitive. It's everything you would wish for in a touchscreen, functional and responsive. Catalog looks pretty decent. Honestly, I'm not big on watching TV shows or movies on flights if it's daytime and I got a window seat, but it's definitely a better selection than some of the airlines we have been on. I think JetBlue will probably have something for you. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled out the window though in case I see any passing aircraft. I may be flying with JetBlue and I might be wearing some blue socks. Delta, if you're watching, here's some free advertising. It's been quite uneventful. Trying not to get a stiff neck by looking out the window, but it's just such a clear day.
I paid $103 for today's flight to New York, which means my transportation from Atlanta to the Big Apple cost 13.5 cents per mile. Not too bad. Were there other costs involved with today's flight? Besides my time and garage parking fee, no. My fare included my seat selection, personal item, carry-on bag, the full-size soda can with plantain chips, and the view of New York City. If I had a checked bag, the first would cost $35, while the second would ring up at $50.
JetBlue 2813 on the RNAV.
2813, number 8 tower, Fondi 175 on half mile, 121, 3 direct to line 26, and 31 clear lane, touch on 4.
Clear lane 3 on JetBlue 2813.
I'm starting to think I scored a pretty good deal, but after checking ticket prices outside of standard US holidays, many fares for this same route are between $69 and $100. Atlanta to New York City is quite a busy route, meaning even flights with Delta or United can be found at similar prices. My experience on JetBlue has definitely changed my perspective though. For whatever reason, I considered the airline a step above Frontier and Spirit, but now I'm thinking they fit somewhere between Southwest and the Big Three.
Alright, well, that was definitely one hell of a fun approach. Awesome view out the window.
Thank you.
Is that one of your favorite approaches? Great time of day to be looking out the window at the city skyline, even though there was some wind gusts. Did a pretty good job on the landing. Nailed it. So, JetBlue. I'm impressed. I thought they were a real ultra low-cost carrier, or at least a low-cost carrier where there's really no frills or thrills and you had to pay extra for everything, but it was pretty decent. You had free snacks, free drinks, you get a free carry-on as well as a personal item, so it's really not that low cost of a carrier. The only issue that we ran into today was the fact that there's a bit of a delay, which there was some sort of miscommunication in JetBlue's chain of command, but at the end of the day we got to LaGuardia in one piece before we can go on to our next adventure. So I've got another plane to catch here, so I gotta find my way around. But until next time, see ya.